Hi everyone and welcome to another video. I'm lauranemacquart and today I'm going to talk about the Luminaires by Elanor Catton. But I'm not going to talk about the plot at all, but about a certain mystery surrounding a part of the book and how the book was built up. Now, the Luminaires won the Man Booker Prize in 2013, so I understand that the hype around this has completely, that ship has sailed, but I've read it, I'm currently reading it still, and I didn't want to share this thing in this book that really elevated the reading experience for me. Now, I've been buddy reading this for the past couple of weeks with Natalie from Curious Reader, and we've kind of divided it up into sections of 100 pages, and we're reading a section every week. But there was this thing that I just couldn't understand about the book, namely the name, Luminaires, which does not have a link with the plot whatsoever. And then we have, at the beginning of the book, we have a character chart. And the characters are kind of split up into two groups. This is the part that I meant to be showing. We have the stellar group consisting of 12 characters, and then we have another, what is it, maybe 10 that are planetary. And while I understood why those 12 were together because of something in the plot, I couldn't understand why these two were then grouped and why those groups were given names. This is weird, right? Especially because, again, stellar planetary has nothing to do with the plot. Another thing, but I hadn't realized that these were related, is that the chapters are given weird names. Let's put it this way. Some are called, see, the first one is called Mercury in Sagittarius, which has nothing to do with the plot. And we have more like that. So the Sun in Aries, and this is ecliptic. So there were these references to the stars without the stars influencing the plot. So I just could not understand it. And then I reached the approximately 500 page mark, and there are parts in this book. And I reached the third part, and when the parts have these first pages with part 3, the House of Self-Undoing, and then a date, a location, and this chart. And again, this was something that I'm like, okay, fine, whatever, this is the thing that I'm not understanding. And that's when I saw that there are names in this chart. And that means that these names also correspond to these symbols. There are 12. So these 12 had to be the zodiac signs. Now, I'm not really into astrology, so I didn't really know anything about it, but it turns out that yes, indeed, these signs are the sign of the 12 zodiacs. So this, let me check if I know one of these off by heart. Yes, I know that Tower here, he's the Aries symbol, so this is the symbol for Aries. But that left me with the symbols inside. And that's when I realized, wait, at the chart at the beginning of the book, we had the stellar, so that is these stars, hey, and we have the other ones was called planetary. These are symbols for planets. Apparently we have that. We have given symbols to our planets. So I looked up all of the symbols that we have for the planets, but I didn't really know, see, with the zodiacs, I knew that Gascoigne was this one. Whatever that is. Wait, I can look it up because I wrote it down. But with the planets, I didn't know. So what I then did is I went back to look at each and every chapter title. So I knew for the first one, Mercury in Sagittarius, it had to do with Sagittarius, that is Balfour. And then I looked into the chapter, okay, what's happening? Apparently Moody is talking to Balfour at that one. So that means that Mercury is moody. You can imagine the moment that this clicked in my head. I was super proud of myself. So I wrote down, first I did so for the stellar, I wrote down each symbol, the zodiac sign that it corresponded to, and the names, just so I had it all in one place and I didn't have to look at the parts. And then I did the same for the planetary, so I wrote down the symbol, the planet, and for each and every single one of the ones that we use, I found out which character that related to. Now, these things had nothing to do with the plot. They don't influence anything that is happening. There is no, oh, well, the moon was up and then this happened. But it elevated my reading experience so much to have this click in my mind and have a feeling that I understood the book more, even though, I mean, and it really lets you ask the question, wait, what's the book, what's the reading experience? How I flip through this book is also part of the reading experience, and this added thing really elevated it. It doesn't do anything when now I'm reading it. Now when I reach a chapter, I will look at what it's called and who that means that chapter is about. They're not all with these names. I just had one that was combustion something something. They are still here, exalted in Aries. Exalted is not a planet, but it is still, I think, then some kind of astrological term. So I'm really liking the experience because of that, and sharing also this find with Natalie, who I'm reading it with, and other people I know who have read this book. It's just great, because I really felt like Sherlock. I felt like I had hacked the system. It was amazing. I'm not really done with the book yet, so I don't know how that is going to go further, but what I did also want to share with you is the link then between these planets and their position in the sky and the plot. And what apparently Elanor Catton has done, and this I have looked up, is that she looked at what the sky was like from a certain position at a certain point in time. So specifically, I can see at the parts, on the 27th of January 1866 at this location, this is what the star looked like. So Mercury, I think this is Mercury, no, this is Venus and this is the Sun, were in the quadrant of Gascogne, and Gascogne is... I love that I have this system now. Gascogne is Capricorn. So because they were in that section of the sky, she took note of that, and she made sure then that she constructed the book in a way that in the plot these two characters would have to do with Gascogne. So it's not thinking of a plot and just thinking up of the stories. No, okay, these characters need to interact. And how they interact, that's the plot. But it's a cool way of constructing a novel, I thought. So yeah, really loving this experience, and I wanted to share that with you because it's not a thing that is easy to find, I think. I hope you like this video anyway. I'd love to hear from you if you've read this book, if you knew about this, if you hadn't realized it, and if you have other books like this that kind of have this special reading experience because of the way that it's been set up, because of the thing that does not necessarily have to do with the plot, for example. I would be totally up for it, because once again, it has really heightened my reading experience. Anyway, thank you for watching. See you in another video. Bye.
Ba-chum, ba-chum, chum.